Good morning, students. Today I start with lesson 3, the tug of war. What is tug of war? Tug of war is with a thick, strong rope. Two teams are playing. There is a center line, and the two teams are trying to pull each other. And the team which pulls the other team to its side is the winner. So, this is tug of war. Now, in this chapter, a small hare is challenging two strong animals, hippo and rhino, and he is making fun of them, and he wants to have a tug of war with these two animals. So, as I read the chapter, you'll understand it. So, listen to the chapter carefully. One peaceful morning, a hare called Umwandla, who lived by the Zambezi River, was bored. He felt like creating a bit of fun for himself, so he looked around to see what he could do. It gave him great pleasure to trouble other animals. Suddenly, he spotted two dignified old residents of the area, rhino and hippo. Now, one peaceful morning, this Umwandla, he was feeling very bored. So he said, now let me have some fun. So how to have that fun? So he just looked around, and always it was a pleasure for him to trouble the other animals. He used to feel so happy troubling the other animals. And suddenly he spotted with a two dignified old resident. Dignified means who command respect, who deserve respect. So he said, okay, and he spotted rhino and hippo. Hippo, although aware of his ugliness, was very proud of his strength. Now Hippo knew very well that he was ugly looking, but he was very proud of his strength. Now Umwandla's mind was a treasure house of pranks. Now he had a house of treasure, and treasure was making fun of others, pranks. He hopped up to the river bank and called, "Oh, mighty one, why do you say you're so strong? Even I, with my small size and thin legs, could beat you in a tug of war." Now he went and tried to challenge the hippo. And he said, "Oh, mighty one, oh, strong one, oh, great one. And why do you say you're so strong? Even I have a small size and I have thin legs, but I can beat you in tug of war." Hippo ignored Umwandla and his ridiculous boasting. But ridiculous means very, very silly. But the hare kept on pestering him, annoying him. He was saying the same thing again and again. At last, Hippo replied in the hope of getting some peace and quiet. "A tug of war? All right, I will show you, my little long-eared nuisance." Now he thought, if I reply to this hare, at least he'll be away from this place and I'll be at peace. So he said, "What, a tug of war? Okay, I'll have a tug of war with this little long-eared nuisance." Now, next beta, Umwandla danced with delight. Now he was so happy that he had challenged such a great big animal. He pointed to an old rounded mound of earth beyond the river bank. Now he showed the hippo some mound, a small hill at the far end. And he said, "I bet I could pull you out of the water and over that terrible termite hill," he taunted. Now, what is taunted? When you to try to make someone angry or upset by saying some unkind things, some unkind words. So he said, "Okay, I will pull you out of this water and over to that hill, termite hill." Umwandla then dashed off to braid a long, strong rope. He went away a bit to make that strong rope. When he came back, he tied one end to Hippo's hind leg, saying, "When I shout pull from behind the hill, you must pull with all your might, for I shall surely beat you." Now he tied the other end of the rope to his hind legs, the back legs, and he said, "Okay, when I reach that hillside, I'm going to say pull. And with your real strength, you're going to pull it." Hippo thought that Umwandla's foolishness had at last got the better of him. He said nothing and settled down again in the water. He soon dozed off. Now he said, "Thank God this hare has gone away." So he said, "Okay, now I'll have a sound sleep." Umwandla took the other end of the rope and crept around to the other side of the hill, where old Rhino was sleeping. Now he went smartly to the other end of the hill, and there the Rhino was sleeping. He picked up some fierce little red ants from a nearby hole and quietly dropped them in Rhino's ear. Now just see how smart he is. He took these red ants and quietly and very softly he was putting in the rhino's ear. Rhino awoke with a grunt and shook his head, trying to scratch his ears. Now he felt something uneasy happening in the ears, so he shook his head and he was trying to, scratch. Good morning, piped Umbandla. I was just coming here to warn you of the ant's nest. Now, just see the smartness. He's wishing also, and he said, I was just coming to tell you that there's an ant's nest here. Oh, I see, one has crawled into your ear. So he said, oh, I have seen one crawling into your ear. May I help you remove it? So he said, now can I help you to remove it? And with a great pretense of concern. Now, beta, what is pretense? Beta, you say something and you mean something. Beta, in a way which you behave to make people believe something that is not true. Now, what was not true here? He was putting the red ants into his ear. He was not going to take it out. No way. But he was assuring the rhino that I am going to help you. He pushed the ants in further. Now he was pushing the ants further and further. That was most kind of you, said the unsuspecting rhino. Now he said, so nice, I'm so thankful to you that you're helping me to take out these ants. But he was not suspecting the hare's smartness. He was really not suspecting. Your small feet are just right while mine are far too large for the job. Now he said, you have got such tiny feet and they are so good. They'll take out my ants. You've no idea what trouble I have with ants. And he grumbled on like cranky old people everywhere. Like with old people, when they are very old, they keep on talking the same thing and they are, irritating sometimes. So he was just grumbling and grumbling that, just see, I'm really sick with these ants. Well, replied the cheeky Umbandla, my feet may be small, but they are very strong. I challenge you to tug of war. I bet I can pull you right over this anthill into the river. Now he said, my feet are very small, but they are very strong. And he said, I challenge you to a tug of war. And I can pull you over this anthill into the river. Old Rhino snorted with laughter. Now he was, just snorting, just snoring and saying and laughing. At last he too was pestered into playing Umbandla's game. Now even he went into his talks. So the hare tied the other end of his rope around Rhino's hind leg. Then he hurried to the top of the hill. He hid in a little hollow and called loudly, pull. Now he thought that Hippo is now going to pull. But Hippo was not listening. By now the ants began to bite deep inside Rhino's ear, and with a bellow of pain, Rhino charged off. Now, these ants had gone deeper and deeper, and they were really, really troubling, and there was a lot of pain in his ears. And Rhino charged off. He ran to no end with great speed. Poor old Hippo had forgotten about Umbandla. He was dozing peacefully in his pool when there was a sudden hard tug on his hind legs. Now, this fellow was sleeping, and suddenly there was a strong bang on his legs. Before he knew, he was dragged out of the river and halfway up the hill. Before Hippo could realize what was happening, he was halfway up the hill. When Hippo realized what was happening, he dug his heels and gave a mighty heave, and the great tug of war started in earnest. Now, what is in earnest? With great seriousness, the war started, the tug of war. Because now this Hippo realized that something is going wrong. This rhino is pulling me and pulling me. So he kept his heels on the ground firmly, and he said, now I'll see. Each of the powerful animals strained every muscle and worked themselves up into a fine fury. Now, both of them were so strong, so they were straining their muscles and they wanted that I have to beat this animal. Umbandla laughed so much that he fell over and went rolling down the side of the anthill. Now, this Umbandla was having so much fun that he was laughing and he fell down and rolled down the anthill. When they saw him there, the two great animals knew they had been tricked. Now these two animals realized when they saw this Umwadla laughing that yes, we have been tricked by this small tiny animal. Roaring with anger, they charged after Umwadla, hoping to trample him before he could tell the other animals how foolish they had been. Now, beta trample means they wanted to just, kill him under their feet. So they were running after him. And they said, before he goes to the forest and tells other animals that, look, I am such a small thing and what I have done. So they wanted to just kill him off. As they charged, the hare waited until the last possible moment and then skipped out of the way. Now, the last moment he could just, save himself when he saw that no, it cannot be saved. So it skipped out of the way, went into the forest. Hippo and Rhino were going so fast that they couldn't stop. Now, they were at such a great speed, but they didn't even notice when he just parted the way and they could not stop. With a tremendous crash, they met head on, hurting each other terribly. Now, they were such at great speed that they had a big crash and they met head on. Head on means their heads struck to each other, they collided and hurting each other terribly. In a blind rage, they started to fight with each other. Now each one blaming each other, you have done. So they started fighting until they heard Umwadla, who was weeping with laughter. Now they heard that he was still, just laughing and that was making him cry. Umwadla realized that at last the game was up, so he jumped up and sped off into the bushes. Now he said, oh God, I'm the winner, and he jumped up and sped off. He ran into the bushes. He could hardly wait to tell the other animals how he had made fools of Hippo and Rhino. Now, he wanted to not to waste any time, and he wanted to tell the other animals, look, how I made fools of these great strong animals, Hippo and Rhino. To this day, Rhino thinks the little red ants are still in his ears. Now, till date, Rhino is always thinking that the red ants are still in his ears. Some say that the ants are so far down that they live in his brain. And that is why Rhino is so bad-tempered. Now, till date, people believe, animals also believe that these ants are inside his brain. They are living there. And that is the reason why Rhino is so bad-tempered. So he's so angry. As for Hippo, you will find him still searching the river banks at night. Because this Hippo is always at night searching the river banks, hoping to find Umwadla and throw him to the hungry crocodiles. Now, he wants to just catch a hold of this Umwadla and throw him in front of the crocodiles to eat. Now, what this story has taught us? This story has taught us, that we have to always think before we do anything. Not like these Rhino and Hippo, without thinking, they went and they had this tug of war. And who was the smart, the clever fellow? The hare, Umwadla, who forced them into this tug of war. So, in life, we should think, we then act, and then not that anyone tells us something and we just immediately rush and do it. No. First, listen, analyze it, think over it, if it is good or bad. All people are not good, all people are not bad. So you have to use your brain to see the consequences, to weigh the consequences. If I do this action, will it help me or will it harm me? So if Hippo and Rhino had already thought of that this hare is cheating and is trying to do something stupid with them, then they would have never gone into all this. But they didn't. They believed this small fellow. And this small fellow took the advantage and he just had this tug of war between two and he was safe. He was very smartly saved himself. Now, in life also, we have to always think good, act good and do good. So, I hope you have understood the story. Now, read the story when I'll send you the book pages and enjoy reading this story. Thank you.